All right, guys, I think I can help you learn more quickly, so I encourage you to watch this video. Today, I'm going to talk about how to keep going even when it's difficult, even when you feel like you aren't exactly seeing the results that you want. And I've been in this position many, many times, so I'm going to talk about my experience with it. And I kind of feel like I'm going through it right now as well. Okay, so any skill you learn, anything you do in life, there's always going to be times where it gets tough, right? It gets difficult. Maybe you're not as interested in it as you were before. Maybe you're not seeing the results you want. Maybe you're feeling a little like burnt out on it. Whatever it is, at some point or another, you're going to encounter resistance on your way to learning anything. And one positive way I like to look at this is that the fact that you are encountering this resistance, the fact that you have to, your motivation may be dropping a little bit and it's tough, it's difficult, is actually quite a good thing, in my opinion. Because if you think about like actually learning a skill well, actually getting really good at something, right? How many people actually manage to do it? Like, yeah, most people are pretty average at a few things, but how many people actually get to a really high level at either one thing, if they really don't want to do one thing in particular, but a variety of different things, right? Well, one thing that those people always do is that even when it sucks, even when it's hard, they don't give up. They keep putting in at least the bare minimum, okay, to keep progressing. And I know on my channel, I always talk about like, do something you enjoy, try to make things interesting, try to make things fun while you're learning. Okay, that is good advice, don't get me wrong, but that's not always going to be realistic. Sometimes it's going to be a sludge, sometimes you're going to have to work through it. So if you've gotten yourself to the point where you are feeling a little burnt out, you are feeling a little frustrated, your motivation isn't as high, you're not getting the results you want exactly, just remember this is the exact time that will separate you from people who actually make it and get to a high level and people who don't, right? I'm not saying to keep pushing so hard that you eventually burn out and quit, okay? What I'm saying is to mentally like recognize the phase you're in, okay? And keep pushing forward, okay? Once you realize that like pushing through this phase, keeping on going through this phase is going to lead you to the results that you actually want, okay, it actually starts to become enjoyable again. It actually starts to become easier again because you know that you'll be rewarded for your effort, right? I do think a lot of people give up because in their mind they don't think that they're going to make it, right? But if you know deep down that you can do it and eventually you will be rewarded for your efforts, it's a lot easier to keep going, right? Now, when we're trying to improve, when we're trying to learn something, you can't just keep moving forward blindly, right? If you're in a spot now where things aren't going perfectly, or you're feeling a lack of motivation, or you're not getting the results you want, right? You can't just keep doing the same thing you've always kept doing, okay? You need to constantly be updating how you're learning, slowly refining how you're learning, how you're operating, and what kind of framework you're learning in, like what kind of systems you're using to learn, right? Because if you're not seeing any results, it could be that, yeah, you need to give it a little longer, but it also could be that it's time to refine your method a bit, time to improve your method a bit, maybe try something new, okay? Go and research some more information about how to learn your skill and how to effectively, implement some things to learn more quickly or learn more efficiently, right? No, I'm not saying you have to do that, but I'm just saying that's one way that you might be able to start seeing results again and get some of that motivation back. But yeah, there's also another aspect to it of this, right? And the other aspect I think is the emotional side, right? Because a lot of times when we're feeling burnt out or we're not feeling the motivation or things are becoming difficult, it's also about recognizing what emotion is actually occurring inside of yourself and what's going on inside of yourself and why you're feeling like frustrated about, not getting the results you want, okay? And taking a step back and just allowing yourself to, kind of feel that and analyze that a little bit within yourself. And don't try to, stuff it down or hide it and ignore it, right? That really is not effective to just ignore it completely. Okay, now I'm not saying you have to like listen to it and just give up and go cry in a corner, right? I'm just saying acknowledge those feelings like, oh yeah, they're here, and where do they stem from, and why am I likely feeling that, and what's the best course of action, okay, for me moving forward. Because learning is partially like an emotional battle, right? You're gonna have all these emotions that come up while you're learning, whether it's jealousy, okay, frustration, anger, even sadness, whatever it is, okay? You're always going to be faced with these like shame, fear, okay? You're always going to be faced with these whenever you're learning. And whenever you hit one of those roadblocks and hit one of those points, just remember it's a chance for you to improve as a person, not just as your skill, right? As you work through these emotional roadblocks, as you work through these issues, as you find ways to keep your motivation, keep to bring back your motivation and keep improving and keep moving forward, not only are you improving at your skill, you're gaining like a very important quality within yourself, right? You're slowly building like a level of confidence that other people aren't going to have, because you're able to pick yourself up and keep going and keep pushing forward, even when it's difficult, even when you don't know exactly what to do, right? And when you do that enough times over and over, you'll just find that that can apply to so many different parts of your life, okay? And I know I'm young, I'm only 28, so like I don't have this whole great wealth of life experience, but that's just what I've felt up until this point. So if you're not feeling motivated and you're frustrated and you're trying to learn something and it's not going well, you're trying to do something in your life and it's not going well, just remember you're in the perfect point to actually get what you want. Okay? Don't give up. Keep refining your strategy. Keep your head up. Keep moving forward. Okay? Listen to yourself. Explore those emotions inside of you a little bit. Okay? Decide what the best course of action for yourself is, and just don't stop. Keep moving forward no matter how slowly you go. The main thing is that you keep moving forward. Okay, learning is a long game. Achieving something is a long game. You have to keep pushing forward, and eventually those results will come. I think the number one thing to remember is that eventually, if you keep putting in the right effort and you keep doing the correct things and you keep refining your strategy, the results will come. And as long as you keep that in mind, it'll be a lot easier to get through that trudge. Anyways, guys, I hope this video helped you. Honestly, it helps me a bit to talk about it too, because I'm also in difficult spots. Okay, sometimes you're going to be kind of going up and down like this with your learning or whatever you're trying to do. So yeah, just don't give up and keep moving forward, guys. If you like this video, please check out some of my other videos. Okay, please leave a like and subscribe, and have a great day. Thank you so much.